Race number 10 is over the 1400 metres. It's Class 3 company, and the Salisbury handicap is a full field of 14 as we take a look at the lineup, headed by Invincible Missile, who's coming off a rare run at the Valley last start. Hello Beauty, Assimilate, Follow Me's drawn pole position gate 1. Honest Me is trialled nicely leading in. Blinker's first time for Money Back. Everyone's Joy drawn in 3 for Alexia Bedell. Happy Force got plenty of pressure last start. He was overrun late, but he's drawn well to find the lead. Ultimate Glory, the 9-year-old, a winner last start in Class 4. Great Treasure's been in good form. Ezra, unacceptable performance last start and pulled up with mucus. Falcon Turbo hasn't won a race this prep, but he has gone up in class on a rating of 62 for this event. And Tang Fleming drawn wide, but he's likely to try and offset that with a jump and run scenario from the barrier heading forward. Fearless Fire is the only galloper from this lot that's been back and forth to Chunfa from the Casper Founds yard. All right, let's take a look at the speed implications here for the final race. And on paper, Tom, it sort of looks like probably one genuine noted front runner as we have a look at how it unfolds, and that's probably Happy Force. I mentioned Tang Fleming drawn out in barrier 14, but Happy Force should have his measure for speed early. Yeah, he should do, and he'll be up front dominating from there as he likes to do. Tang Fleming, he'll be up on the pace as well, but he's going to have to do a little bit of work to get there. But Happy Force should be able to find the front quite comfortably. Falcon Turbo there just behind them. Now, they've talked in the past about riding Assimilate further forward, so if he doesn't get in there, you'd see probably Follow Me get up a little bit closer, Assimilate to track him along there somewhere. Interesting, they're riding this horse with blinkers for the first time. Didn't give away too much in a trial, and he has got gate number 11, so I'll be keen to see what they decide to do with Money Back. All right, so a question mark alongside of Money Back regarding his position in that speed map. Paul, the track work? Invincible Missile comes back to Sha Tin. He's been running at Happy Valley recently, and he's been very consistent at Sha Tin, so looks good for him, and he moves nicely here. Just got an awkward draw, but he's fit and he goes nicely with his piece of work. Follow Me was unlucky at his last start. He's come out of that race with no issues whatsoever, and he looks good here in the mornings, so he's 4th up this season, so he's ready to go. As Follow Me, Joe Moreira from barrier 1 will help him as well. Now we're going to have a look at is Ezra. Now Ezra drew wide last time. He was wide the whole way, and then he pulled up with mucus as well. So clear excuses for him. Sylvester de Souza, barrier 6, and he goes nice. He's come out that little issue he had with no problems. All right, let's start off with Follow Me. As Paul mentioned, he looks pretty close to cherry ripe, you would think, going in here for John Size Joe Moreira. Gate number 1, he's had the 3 runs back, slightly unlucky at his last outing. So if he can get that nice little saloon run as we just showed there in the speed map, you would think based on this performance he should be right in the finish. Yeah, they'll be looking to take bad luck out of play with him because he's encountered that in his last 2 runs. In fact, he was desperately held up behind Band of Brothers, and then last time out he was held up, and then once he got into the clear I thought he finished off well. So gate number 1, Joe Moreira, he'll be looking to get out of that drama that he's had recently with him, find a nice position, and I think if he can do that, he goes close. Overall, you look at his record, and freshness has never really been a good thing for him. He's often taken a few runs to get to his best. Yeah, he got out late, didn't he? We did get in the clear. He ran on nice enough. I think he's one of the major players in the race. All right, we're going to move on now and focus on 3 runners on this occasion. Firstly, Everyone's Joy, who is a horse that has had some setbacks due to soundness issues, but his 2 runs have been good. Great Treasure. He never speeds out of the gates, that's for sure. We might just put a little arrow on these, hey? That might make it a little bit better. And Happy Force, of course, he's the runner in the race that deserves a proper arrow because he's going to be out in front and making play, and I think he'll get a better run in transit this time than he did here. Yeah, and look, of these ones, though, I've taken the horse Everyone's Joy out of it. He's gone pretty well. As you mentioned, he's had a few issues, this horse, in his career, but he was a bit unlucky here, was held up. I think he can run a race. I've got him in there on a minor line. He's got a good draw. You just keep an eye on here in the yellow cap next to with Superstar here. He just got chopped out of it, and he couldn't really ride him out. He possibly might have been able to finish 3rd there had he been given a proper crack at them. Yep. I think he's still got rating points in hand too, and with some runs under the belt, that should hold him in good stead. I think he's a winning chance in this race, Everyone's Joy, but Great Treasure ran on strongly towards the end, no doubt about that. He'll go around at a reasonable price, you would think. Falcon Turbo, interesting runner because, as I said before, he hasn't actually won a race this season, but he's found himself up in class due to his consistency. with minor placings.
Yeah, I think he's had his chance, Falcon Turbo, to win. He's going to find this a lot harder. He's got the lightweight, but look, I thought if he was going to win one already, he would have won on the lower grade.
Yeah, I think he's had his chance as well. He moved up here, looked like he was potentially going to be the winner on this occasion, but it was Unicorn Baby and Alexi Bedell to chop him back over the final stages. So I've left him out this time round. It wouldn't be a total shock if he won, but I think he's had his chance. Yeah,
well, that's it. You've got to look at it either way, don't you? The lightweight, the tougher opposition. I think that the lightweight will be a positive for him. I'm going to put him into the tips as we move on again and take a look at a couple of trials coming in now. And firstly, Invincible Missile, gone back to the trials after a trip to the Valley. We know he'll get back. He's got a big weight to carry. He'll want some tempo, which he might not get.
I wasn't convinced probably Happy Valley was the right place for him, but he's come back and he's trialled well here. This was a trial for a third. You can see on this occasion that the rider wasn't doing too much with him over the concluding stages. Looked to be under a nice hold, travelling well enough. He is at the top of Class 3 now. I'm just keen to see where he can get it, but he was finishing well.
Hypothetical, Paul, if he was at the bottom of Class 2 with no weight, would you give him a chance?
I'll give him a chance on this.
Yeah.
I think he's back to Sha Tin 1400 metres. It's a good chance. So yeah, Class 2. I think he can win in Class 2 as well.
I tend to agree with Tom a bit too. I'm not sure the Valley completely suited him. I think Sha Tin might be his better race course. And Honest Way now. A slightly better trial from him leading in. He's another one that's often taken a run or two to get going. He's getting closer.
This was an 800-metre trial for him, and Umberto Rispoli gets on well with this horse. David Ferraris' horses are racing well at the moment, and he won up 1/3 up last year off 59, so here he is on 71. He's won a couple of times since then, but he's been going well enough.
Yeah, I prefer him at 1200 though. He's up to 14 and he hasn't performed at 14 before.
No, he hasn't. We're making a case for a few, and the market's reflecting that early with Follow Me at 4.7 in a wide betting race. Now we go to the final one, Ezra, who's got a heap of talent. He's gone back to the trials. As Paul mentioned before, there was some issues, including mucus. We have to give him another chance, surely.
Yeah, definitely. Just forget his last run. He was 3 wide all the way. He drew wide. He had a really tough run. He had mucus. He pulled up. Just forget it. Prior to that, he was very impressive once he'd been gelded. So I think he can win this race.
Does he need galloping room, Paul, do you think? Or is he a horse that appreciates more galloping room than congestion at this stage of his career?
Yeah, but from barrier 6, I think he can get it right. He can pull out on the turn and get into clear area there.
Okay. So you'd rather see him
6 to 8, I think.
Getting wider rather than going for rails runs and sort of looking to manoeuvre one through. All right, let's get the tips from Paul. Sounds like Ezra's right in there.
Yeah, I like him. I like Ezra. I think he can forget his last run and he can win this. Follow Me's been unlucky. The last couple of starts will run well. Invincible Missile is up to this grade. I think he can win in Class 2 and Everyone's Joy. 12, 5, 1 and 8, like the 12.
5-8 for me in the last with Follow Me. He goes on top over Everyone's Joy, Assimilate and Ezra, but I think for the trio you go wide, 5, 8, 4 and 12.
All right, I'm with the 8 here. I think he's a decent chance, but there's a few in it. Let's have a look at the stats, and Francis Loy is the man on screen. Paul, tell us about Francis.
Yeah, like he's with his last start place getters, he's got a really good record, so he gets the horses up and running and they go on with it. You can see the success rate there, and this one for you ran second last time. I think he can go well once again, so I do like this one for you. Fortune Happiness is the other one. He's in good form at the moment.
Looking for a hat-trick. All right, best bet time. Who's the best of the day?
Big Time Baby for me. Matthew Chadwick's aboard to get a lovely run in behind, and the first starter will take a chance with him. Hero Star, Vincent Ho aboard. As player of the day, we'll go Big Time Baby, Fortune Booth and 7 Heavens.
Righto, my best comes up in race 9, number 6, Holy Heart on the all with it. Vincent Ho, Francis Loy, the long shot, stronger race 7, number 2 for Blake Shin and John Moore, and the play around quadruple double with Majestic Conqueror, California Red Hero Star, Meridian Talon.
Best for me is Everyone's Joy, race 10, number 8. Each way, it's a tough race, but I think he's ready to win. And Zero Hedge, race 6, number 2. He'll need some luck from the gate. Follow Me, Everyone's Joy, and Happy Force, the QQP, if you're afraid to go straight out on Everyone's Joy. That's the program. We've got a big 10 race card at Sha Tin. Boys, look forward to seeing you trackside.
You too.
Should be good.
Good night.